Simple Life presents. Never let negative attitude ruin your life. Attitude is everything, for better or worse. The way you perceive the world has a powerful effect on the results you obtain. A negative attitude almost guarantees that life will be more difficult and less fulfilling than it should be. Further, a pessimistic outlook will adversely affect your health, relationships, and professional growth. Learn how a negative mindset develops and the steps you can take to transform it. How does a negative attitude develop? A pessimist is one who continually experiences people and circumstances in unpleasant ways. Although some research indicates that negativity is a stable aspect of temperament, most therapists believe a learned component is reinforced by habit. For example, a child with high sensitivity to physical and emotional discomfort may develop a negative attitude. However, the environment strongly influences his development and will either reinforce this tendency or teach him more realistic ways to view the world. Not everyone with a negative attitude is born that way. Since negativity is a learned response, it can be taught. A parent with a negative attitude is modeling this way of thinking, and the child learns by example to be pessimistic. Life experiences can also teach you to expect the worst from people and situations. A history of trauma, abuse, or failure despite your best efforts may train you to anticipate negative outcomes. Clinical depression can also affect your perspective, making an otherwise optimistic person more inclined to interpret experiences negatively. If this scenario applies to your situation, seek the guidance of qualified healthcare professional. Medication is sometimes necessary to correct the chemical imbalances associated with depression. Indications of a negative attitude. Certain beliefs and patterns of thinking seem to characterize people with negative attitudes. 1. Seeing the worst in others. Pessimists have a low opinion of human nature and tend to expect the worst from others. They will predict failure and poor behavior when dealing with another person, regardless of evidence contrary to the individual's character or accomplishments. Disparaging remarks are not uncommon. The pessimist will attribute the failure of others to the individual's flaws or bad intentions, ignoring the circumstance. 2. Expecting adverse outcomes without cause. A person with a negative attitude will enter new endeavors with low expectations. He believes his skill, experience, and past achievements are inconsequential because he anticipates obstacles instead of success. With his consciousness primed for failure, it becomes almost inevitable. He sabotages his aspirations. Even when circumstances do work in his favor, he quickly dismisses the occurrence. 3. Blame. Having a negative attitude is, in some ways, a defense mechanism. When things go wrong, the pessimist will usually find some factor outside his control to blame. Circumstances, the weather, the economy, and often the actions of others take the rap for his predicaments. Placing blame outside himself frees the pessimist from responsibility for his own state of being. Steps to a more balanced perspective. Even if you have been harboring a negative attitude throughout your life, change is possible. Negativity is a habit that is learned. Conversely, so is optimism. You can teach yourself to have a more balanced outlook by practicing several steps. 1. Rethink your view. A negative attitude is simply one way of perceiving the world. It is only half the truth. However, for every evil intention and tragic event, a good deed, a selfless act, or a beautiful example of human courage exists. When you catch yourself focusing on the negatives, force yourself to look for evidence of the positive as well. Your goal is to seek balance in your perspective. 2. Examine your expectations. All other factors being equal, your efforts have as much chance of succeeding as anyone else's. Consider the events in your past that taught you to expect little. While it is a fact that these events occurred, Is it possible that your interpretation of their cause is skewed to the negative? Begin to approach your endeavors with the awareness that good outcomes are as likely as not. Let your successes serve as proof of this fact, and gradually replace the pessimistic predictions altogether with positive expectations. 3. Practice gratitude. Even during difficult times, there is always something for which to be grateful. You may have been blessed with good health, a loving family, and friends or talents that allow you to earn a living. Acknowledge the good in your life. 4. Take responsibility. The only thing you have total control over in life is yourself. Placing blame is a defense and serves no useful purpose. Instead of fault-finding, consider how you might have contributed to the outcome. Use the experience as a learning tool, and take steps to prepare yourself better to respond positively and proactively in the future. 5. Give others the benefit of the doubt. The most competent people sometimes make mistakes. Good intentions don't always translate to ideal behavior, and random, impersonal acts sometimes have negative consequences. Look at the facts before passing judgment on others. Trust that it is reasonable to depend on the efficacy of others more often than you thought. 6. Focus on yourself. Expecting the worst becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, look for ways to improve your performance, gain new skills, and increase your effectiveness in all areas of your life. Others will begin responding to you in more positive ways as you accentuate the positive in yourself. 7. Seek support. Breaking a habit that has been with you throughout your life will not be easy. Let those you trust know of your effort to change your outlook. Ask them to point out negative statements gently. You may be so accustomed to such thoughts that they fail to catch your attention. You also may want to consider the guidance of a therapist as you unravel the negative beliefs you have accumulated. Cognitive therapy is an incredibly effective approach to this task. If you liked the video, do subscribe, like, and comment. Do hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you for watching.